I never really thought I would say this because usually I don't, and I never really thought I would care. But I'm just gonna call it like it is. If it's a duck, it quacks like a duck. It talks like a. If it quacks like a duck and walks like a duck, it's a freaking duck. And I'm just gonna straight out say it. Cena's a dick. Wow, this is actually a go home show for Survivor Series. One of the big four pay per views of the year. And honestly, the team match is one of the main events of this pay per view. And there was barely any promotion at all. I'm going to give credit to the authority here because they did everything they possibly could do to promote this thing and actually make people interested in watching it. But it's only a one-sided thing. You need two people in order to promote. You need two teams in order to promote a match like this. And the person that's pretty much MIA is John Cena. Somebody you really didn't expect. It's supposed to be truth, justice, in the American way with integrity, and I can't even say integrity, but he has integrity, he has honor, he has loyalty, hustle, loyalty, and respect, all of that other nonsense that he stands for, which really does not show tonight. I'm sorry. I know you're a hustler, but even hustlers got their priorities. And even with hustlers, some hustlers do stay loyal. But in his case, nah, I really can't say that he goes by that mantra anymore. And it showed me tonight. And yeah, his character, blah, 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 blah. The thing is that if your character is based on the mantra, hustle, loyalty, and respect, you want to show that daily, especially if you're a babyface. The guy was behind the scenes, literally watching his teammates get pummeled right and left. Didn't barely come out to help them, not once. And then at the very end, you're supposed to expect us to root for you after we saw you leave your teammates hanging like that? And then you have the gall to call Ryback selfish when you're watching your teammates get beat up to be on your team. Yeah. And the biggest thing that really does bug me is that why didn't the authority bring up that Cena has nothing to lose? I'm like, if I'm losing my job, then you got to put something on the line too. You think you're going to beat me? Put your money where your mouth is. Why didn't they do that? Why didn't they open up their mouths and say that? I would have loved JBL to mention it. JBL came close. Came so close to mentioning it, but for some reason, it just faded out of his skull and disappeared into thin air. And I wouldn't be surprised if somebody was talking in his ear telling him to shut his hole and don't mention that. But on the real, JBL was the only person this whole night that came close to saying something like that. And nobody else did. Seriously. And I'm not a big fan of Jerry the King Lawler or Michael Cole, but God bless those two because they did their best to keep it interesting. They even went to random thoughts and random conversations about something just to stay interested and to stay awake. And you could also tell the crowd wasn't buying it either. The only match that's worth watching in Survivor Series is Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt. Because Bray Wyatt's promo in the ring when he was taunting Dean Ambrose was the best I've ever seen. The only messed up part is that they're actually kind of enhancing the feud on SmackDown and not on Raw. I kind of understand why they're doing that. It's because they're trying to get more people to watch SmackDown. So they're going to have a high profile feud on SmackDown just to get people to watch it. And I understand that, and I'm going to let that go. But I am going to say this. If you got only one match that's worth watching on your 3-match card, 3, and I'm not counting Adam Rose versus the Bunny. They only got 3, y'all. They might just add 2 more to make it. They might just add 2 or 3 more to make it either 5 or 6. But either or, it's just flipping sad. It's freaking sad, y'all. It really, really is. If you got only one good match on your card. And they have a championship match at that. A Divas championship match. And they barely promoted it. If you have a championship match on your card and you have a non-title match to be the main event on your card, or considered the one to be the most watchable, that shows how much your belt is worth. That Divas belt is worth nothing. Seriously, it's worth absolutely zilch. It's more like a crackerjack award. It seriously is. It's a crackerjack treat. That's all it is. For those that don't remember what crackerjacks are, you find a prize in the box and you pull it out. It's a crackerjack prize. That's what it is. It's worth nothing. And the sad thing is, that's the only thing that those women have to go for. They got nothing else. And it's messed up how you got a non-title holder that is over your champion. You got Nikki Bella that is more over than AJ Lee. And has more popularity than AJ Lee. There'll probably be people that beg to differ, but let's be real here. Nobody even mentions AJ Lee on the Total Diva show. Nobody even shows her on the air that often. I'm just happy she's not feuding with Paige anymore. But despite all that, it's messed up how you have a championship match on your card is barely mentioned, let alone barely promoted. And you got Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt more promoted than your championship match. Yeah. And sure, you had a whole bunch of matches in between. You had Adam Rose and a bunny flirting with Natalya. Who freaking cares? Seriously. Then you have the 8-man tag. Great. That was a great match in itself, but why? You know, unless they're gonna have a tag team titles match at Survivor Series. Who knows? I don't know. But honestly, this is really becoming a one-sided Survivor Series, and this is the go-home show, y'all. Seriously. I could sit here and rant all night about Raw and even talk about the one thing that pissed a lot of people off on the internet. Larry the Cable Guy being the special guest host for next week's Raw. You know what? I got no beef with Larry. I like Larry. Get her done. But on the real, I don't want him to get her done on my Raw. But it's bad enough that they actually put anybody... They put Grumpy the Cat on tonight. So, does it really matter if they have guest hosts anymore? No. Because we're gonna expect it. That's how it's gonna be every freaking night. But do I really need to even put overall thoughts in this? No, I mean, honestly, I don't really think I do, because you can really tell how completely annoyed, bored, and just completely drained this show was. Draining it was to watch, and draining it was to even do a review on. And I'm like, look, it's not gonna change until we start shutting off our screens, until they start losing money. Then they might rethink about what they're doing. But on the real, I'm not trying to start a movement here. All I know is that me watching WWE has been a tradition for me since I've been 6. And that was a long time ago. But on the real, there may be a time that you just got to shut off your brain and just, well, actually turn on your brain and shut off the screen. And just not deal with crap. For me personally, I know I'm going to watch Survivor Series for one match. Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt. That's the only match that interests me at all as a wrestling fan. All the other matches I could care less about. And I wouldn't be surprised they try to do some kind of a swerve for Team Cena versus Team Authority, even though it was a one-sided team thing altogether. I wouldn't be surprised they actually do try that, and I'm not going to deny that Vince McMahon might make another appearance. But despite all that, I may or may not do a review. It all depends on the talking points of whether or not I'm hyped up after watching it. But I'm not making any guarantees. But I will say this. I actually did an audio with Mr. Griffin, pretty much talking about Survivor Series as well as the WWE Network, and also talking about wrestling as a whole in 2014 and other stuff. So if you guys are interested in that, I'm going to try to get that out pretty much around this week. I'm going to try to get it out since it's talking about Survivor Series. So if you guys are really interested in watching it, it's going to be up sometime this week, and just stay tuned for that. But as for Survivor Series, we'll see. Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out. Later.